In this video, I'll guide you through how to remove a domain from Google Workspace in a safe and structured way so you don't accidentally cut off access for your users. Removing a domain is a permanent change, so we'll walk slowly through each step and I'll explain what's happening as we go. First, it's important to understand what removing a domain actually does. When you remove a domain from Google Workspace, all email services and access tied to that domain stop working. That includes sending and receiving email, logging in with addresses on that domain, and any services associated with those accounts. Because this is permanent, you want to make sure you've moved everything you need to a different domain before you remove the old one. And to start, you'll need to have another domain ready to take over. In your Google admin console, go to the section where you manage your domains. Here, you're going to add a new domain, but it's very important that you add it as a secondary domain, not as a domain alias. A secondary domain is treated as its own separate domain in your Google Workspace, which is what you need if you want to make it the new primary later. A domain alias, on the other hand, just forwards email to an existing primary domain and can't replace it. When you add the new secondary domain, Google will ask you to verify that you own it. This usually involves adding a record in your domain's DNS settings, like a TXT record. Follow the on-screen instructions carefully, switch over to your domain registrar or DNS host, add the record they provide, then come back to the admin console and click to verify. Verification might take a few minutes, depending on how fast your DNS updates. Just keep refreshing until Google confirms that the domain is verified. Once the new domain is verified and active as a secondary domain, you're ready to make it the primary one. Back in the Manage Domains area, look for the option that says Change Primary Domain. Click that, and you'll see a list of domains that are eligible to become the new primary. Select the new domain you just verified as your secondary. When you confirm this change, Google begins the process of swapping your primary domain. Most of the time, this change happens within a few minutes, but officially, Google says it can take up to 48 hours to fully process. During this time, it's a good idea to avoid making major changes to accounts or email routing. Just give the system some breathing room to update. While you're waiting, you may also want to double check that your users and services are behaving as expected with the new primary domain. For example, make sure new accounts are created with the correct domain and that email is flowing normally. If you need to update DNS records like MX records for the new domain, do that according to Google's setup instructions. After the primary domain swap has fully completed and you're confident everything is working correctly on the new domain, you can safely remove the former domain from Google Workspace. Go back into Manage Domains, select the old domain, and choose the option to remove it. Remember, once you remove this domain, email and access for that domain will permanently stop, so only do this after you've fully transitioned to the new primary domain.